Hi, I'm Gentry with the Hobby Lobby Creative Studio. Today I'm going to show you a super easy way to make a DIY tote purse using only bandanas. It's a great beginner project, and the best part is you won't need to go near a sewing machine to make it. We'll assemble the whole thing by cutting fringes in the fabric and then tying the strips together. Check out our printable for a full list of supplies you'll need to make this purse. When you buy your bandanas, they'll be folded. The first thing we want to do is iron out all of the creases. Once you have yours ready to go, we can get started. To make things as easy as possible, we're going to use a rotary cutter and ruler for this project. If you're not familiar with using these tools, be sure to check out our rotary cutter and cutting mat video. Let's start by prepping for our cuts. We're going to stack the bandanas to make things faster, and we'll keep doing that throughout this tutorial. If any of the bandanas have a pattern that needs to run a specific direction, like this damask, you'll want to make sure those bandanas are facing up. This will be the top of the purse, and you don't want your pattern to be upside down when you carry it. By the way, for a look like ours, you'll want to make sure you're working with 2 pieces of damask and 2 pieces of the polka dot at this point. Let's cut them right down the middle so we end up with 8 pieces that measure about 11 inches by 22 inches each. For now, we're only going to work with 6 of those pieces, so go ahead and set aside 2 polka dot pieces. Stack the remaining 6 pieces like this, with the edges lined up. Place the stack in front of you with this long edge facing you. Now measure in 2.5 inches from the left corner and make a 2.5 inch cut like this. Now we're going to measure over 1 inch and make another 2.5 inch cut. And then we're going to keep going. We'll measure over 1 inch and cut, and measure over 1 inch and cut. This will leave you with an uncut 2.5 inch section on the right corner. We'll cut that off later. Let's work on the other side now. Go ahead and flip the stack over like this, and you're going to do the exact same thing. Measure in 2.5 inches, make a 2.5 inch cut, and continue making cuts spaced 1 inch apart until you've made 18 cuts. To finish cutting the body of the purse, all we've got left to do is work on one short side. So first, turn the stack like this so that the side that will become the bottom of the purse is facing you. Now we'll repeat the same cutting method we used for the long sides, which means that when we make the first cut 2.5 inches from the left corner, that entire corner will be removed. Then we'll go ahead and do the same thing on the right side so that both bottom corners are cut out. Then we'll just finish up this side like we did with the long sides, making cuts that are 1 inch apart all the way across. When you're done, you will have made about 5 cuts. Now we're ready to begin assembling the body of the purse. And remember, this is a no-sew project, so all we have left to do is tie the bandanas together. We'll start by laying out 3 pieces side by side with the uncut edges at the top, like this. Again, if you want your purse to look like ours, use the same damask, polka dot, damask pattern. Now we'll start tying the pieces together to make one panel of the purse. You'll want to join your pieces here and here. We'll leave the outside edges untied to join them to the next panel later. Start tying like this. And you'll notice that I'm using double knots here. This is to make sure the pieces are joined as tightly as they can be. You don't want your purse coming apart when you start to use it. And just like that, we've already made one panel of our purse. So to make the other panel, we'll just repeat that same tying process using the other 3 pieces. Just be sure to lay them out in the same order. Okay, now it's time to tie these 2 panels together. So lay them out like this, one on top of the other, with all of the edges lined up. Start tying the panels together with tight double knots, just like you did before. We found it easiest to start at the center of the bottom edge and work our way out and up from there. This time we're going to leave the top strips on each corner untied. We'll tie the handle to those strips later. And look at that! The body of the purse is now finished. All we have left to do is make the handle, and you'll be ready to tote your purse around in no time. Go ahead and grab the last 2 11 by 22 inch pieces you set aside earlier and stack them on top of one another. Now measure in 1 inch and make a cut all the way up. So you'll end up with 2 1-inch by 22-inch strips. Tie those 2 strips together to make one long strip and set that aside for now. Now we'll cut up the rest of the bandana pieces to make short strips that will give our handle a little extra flair. So turn the stack so the long sides are facing you, like this. Now measure in 5.5 inches from the left side and cut all the way up the stack. Then repeat that all the way across. You should make 3 cuts total to end up with 4 pieces that are 5.5 inches long. We've got just a few more cuts to make, and then we'll work on tying the handle to the purse. So now stack all the pieces with the longer side closest to you, like this. Again, starting at the left corner, measure in 1 inch and cut all the way up the stack. Continue cutting these 1-inch strips all the way across the stack. When you're finished, you should have about 80 strips. Okay, time to start embellishing the handle. So grab the long strip and start tying the short strips to it. A good way to make sure your strips are evenly placed is to start in the middle of the handle. So just tie one on with a double knot like this. Then tie a strip to either side of that one and continue working outward. So every time you tie a strip on the right-hand side, tie one on the left. This way you won't run out of strips before you reach the end of your handle. Now that the handle is finished, we'll tie it to the purse. Remember, we're going to tie the handle to those untied corners on the body of the purse, so go ahead and tie on one of the corners now, but don't double knot it just yet. Now lay one end of the handle over the first knot like this. Then go ahead and make your second knot. Now tie the handle to itself like this, again using a double knot. Finally, just cut off any excess and then repeat for the other side of the handle. With the handle attached, the last thing to do is trim off the sewn edges on all the fringes. This will allow the fabric to fray evenly over the entire purse. For a finishing touch, you might want to add a simple clasp. We found this cute little flower in the wearables department. It comes with an alligator clip on the back of it, so it makes a great clasp for the purse. We just clipped it on like this, and we're good to go. And that's it! Your no-sew bandana purse is complete. Be sure to check out our other videos for more DIY inspiration, and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again here next time at the Hobby Lobby Creative Studio.